Welcome to the Sportswire Spotlight. I'm Will Kaderli. Joining me, as always, Dylan Garner. Dylan, what is up, my man?
Will, I am happy to be back recording with you here. We got some exciting, I know fall sports for you, been really exciting so far, covering all the football and all this stuff. We got kind of a different twist on the football formula today.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, when you're at Route 5, when you're at Varina, football is king. Always has been, always will be. They put a little spin on it, though. All of a sudden here at Varina, it's the first school in Henrico County to have a flag football team, a girls' flag football team. And joining me are two of the reasons why this has really kind of exploded. Head coach Ashley Banks and wide receiver / defensive back Laila Egerton. Ladies, appreciate you being part of the Sportswire Spotlight today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We're so excited to be here.
We're excited, and you've got to be excited. Fresh off a 31-0 win in their first ever game, you not only do you score 31 points, you pitch a shutout, get the W in your first game ever. Ashley, I want to start with you as head coach. Cliff Notes version. How did this come to pass? Flag football at Varina High School.
It was a dream, to be honest. A lot of the girls last year wanted to do hey, let's just do powder puff. And, you know, we couldn't really get it going. We wanted to reach out to all the other schools in Henrico County. Hey, we know boys football is really great. So how can we do a powder puff, make it competitive? Also getting the girls more involved and getting our voices heard as females. And so this summer, Lamont called and was just like, Ash, what do you think about this? And I was like, what? He was like, well, the Commanders. I was like, oh, I'm a Commanders fan. And so he said, we have an opportunity to go over to Huguenot and be a part of our training. And I said, training for what? And he was like, flag football. I was like, yo, when I landed at Henrico, when I was going to Henrico to play basketball, I had to pick between football and basketball. Gene Atkins was like, no, ma'am. You got to play basketball. So I had to give up those dreams. But it's great that I'm able to still fulfill those things. I told Lamont, I said, hey, I'm on board. You just let me know whatever you need. I can produce the girls, and we just went from there. And he sent me to Huguenot. We went there. It was on a Saturday. And I saw over 100 girls. And I was like, Lamont, I think we're on to something really good. He's like, well, I think we're going to be the only ones that's going to do it. And I was like, why? I think girls need their voices heard, on the school level. A lot of the girls are like, well, why don't we never get to play football?
Right.
Why do we have to be just managers? Or why do we have to be cheers? So I just took the things that the young ladies came and I said, Lamont, we're going to do it. You let me know what I need to do and where I need to be. Yeah. So he sent me to training camp at the Commanders. I got right up close in person with the Commanders. Great experience. We went to go pick up our flags and our balls, and then we met the representatives from RBS. We're partaking in their kind of schedule. Yeah. Most of our teams have off on Mondays, so they put us in to play those teams. So that's why we only play on Mondays.
So it's just for everyone at home. RBS is
Richmond Public Schools.
Okay, RPS, yes. Okay, so. And the Commanders also, for people at home, Washington Commanders is part of the youth football initiative, trying to get not just young people to play football, but to grow the sport. Yeah. And one of the ways to do that is to have flag football, support flag football across Delmarva, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia.
They want that DMV kind of taken care of.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Laila, trace that back, that interest level, have you always been a football fan? Has this always been I would love to get out there and try this at some point? How did that come to be, and what was it like, oh, wow, this is actually going to happen, as I'm hitting senior year?
So I've always been a football fan due to my brother. My team is the Eagles, surprisingly. So when I heard
our boss John Gill's gonna love you then.
He's a Giants fan. I'm a Chiefs fan. So I've had
I'll make a bet that your Chiefs win.
But I've always been an Eagles fan. It shocked me when AB has said, "Oh yeah, we're gonna be with the Commanders and go to the camp." I was shocked about flag football because I was like, "Oh yeah, that's fun." Mm-hmm. My other siblings was like, you should really get on a team, but I could never find anything with the rec or anything here.
Right.
So when I heard about flag football, I was so surprised. I was like, okay, what are we going to do? When it's tryouts? When it's practice? We couldn't do it, unfortunately, until the first couple of weeks of school, before school started. So I was like, okay, yeah, let me go ahead and rock this out and do what I have to do to become on a team.
And Laila, how big of a deal is this for girls sports? Because it's not like you guys don't have anything in the fall. I mean, you got field hockey, you got girls volleyball, you got cross country. There are options. But as we said in the intro, I mean, this is a football school, right? On Route 5, it's about football. So on Friday nights, you get to watch massive, fans in the stands, sellout crowds. Everybody, is just waiting for that whistle to sound for the game to begin, guys to run out on the field. What does it mean to you to be part of that now, have your own stake in it?
What it means to me, one, I feel like it's a great deal because you have other people from different sports that have different experiences, different body types that can handle certain stuff. I feel like as females, we are in the basics and not put out there with football. Like, football is great and fun, but what could us females do to make it even more better? So for us to be the first county school to have flag football, I feel like that's amazing. Yeah. And I feel like that puts us out there to be more of a dog than just Prissy.
The funny thing is, like, okay, so like you're like, all right, both of you are like, well, how's this going to work? I mean, obviously the logistics, you get it, but what's it going to look like? Coach, what did you think when the girls came knocking on the door to try out? What was the response like?
First, I was just like, look, we must get a staff that's able to reach all girls. We wanted to meet all of the girls where they were, and it had to be like a collective effort. It's not just my staff. I have a staff of 4, but we also have the boys basketball as well as the boys football team. So you're going to see, like, if you was in an ideal world, if you was to come by our practice, you never know what you're going to get. We have the military, the Marines here. They come and help out our quarterbacks. We have Marcus as well as all his staff, JV as well as varsity that come. We have Caleb, the boys, D1 coming in here. They're eager to show the girls, like, even after practice, I'll notice I may go over to watch some things, on the boys' side, and I'll notice like 2 or 3 of my girls over there just working on technique stuff. And this is after our practice. I have some of my defensive specialists, they're over there watching the boys' defense and how they play the gaps. And they're really able to start understanding. I had to fuss at Juju the other day because she like, AB, I know we got study hall, but can I get a football? I'm like, Ju, no, we don't have practice. It's raining. We're not going out there. She like, well, the boys out there. So it's
you got the turf field. Rain shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah,
right?
It's just a lot, and they're on me. They're holding me accountable as well as myself holding them accountable. Thanks out to our admin staff. You talk about those games. I think they were really surprised at the amount of support we had. No, we had people there that support us, but we had those watching as well.
Yeah, you've got this is a great part of this. It really is a community, right? Because you've got football players from the guys team. You've got coaches from football. You got coaches from other schools coming to help you guys out. Laila, talk to me about that support from them, but also fill us in on some of the girls that make up your team. We want to learn more about them.
Okay, so the guys and everybody that support, so much love to y'all. I feel like they've give us a great mindset to where to be to like as far as passing, defense, offense, so that we can have a great view of what we're supposed to be doing other than stepping back off of what we're supposed to be doing. The girls that fill my team, they're great. They have a lot of potential. I believe in them, support them. They're very supported by everybody. I feel like we are a family. We could talk to each other about anything. Usually if we have any problems, we'll find ways to quicken that up and just like substitute it for something better. We run a lot.
Yeah.
We run a lot. So we're trying to prevent like being tardy or having bad grades, lying, etc., so that we can get straight to the plays, routes, instead of running bleachers.
Oh yeah. Well, that just makes you stronger, faster. All that's good for you.
Yeah.
But GPA wise, because you did say, and you mentioned it, if you want to watch the story, it's on Sportswire. You follow us on Instagram as well. Yeah. Good stuff. But there's so much stuff, we couldn't have everything in it. One of the things you mentioned, Coach Banks, was this is also kind of a reward for the GPA of your student athletes on this team. Tell me about that.
Yeah, we have almost 75% of our team have over the required 2.0. You know, we have a 9th grader coming in, you know, she has a 4.0.
Yeah. Wow.
You know, coming in. And so, you know, I think it's unique because you always have those few, but, you know, to have players such as Laila that come in and say, hey, I can help you with your work. Yeah. Hey, what are you struggling in? Hey, do you need help? You know, I had that teacher before. So just to see them be leaders within, you know, amongst their peers is great stuff.
Laila, and I know you come from the track world. That's kind of your primary sport before this. You're used to running. Like let's be honest about that. But what was that transition for you like? You know, you're a senior, you know, a leader on that track team. What's that like? Not only having to adjust to the new sport yourself, but leading that for all these other girls as well.
Well, it's easy to adjust to. Again, you do have a lot of new people that are experiencing a lot of new things. Like we have 2-3 girls that have already played flag football before.
Nice, that's good.
And everybody else haven't. Mm-hmm. But it's great that they have the idea to play flag football with the girls' help and with the coaches' help. Yeah. I feel like being a leader, all you have to do is just stay focused, set the example, and do what you have to do instead of complain about it.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
even though it's hard, it gives you a great long run because you end up shaped. Yeah. You end up in a good headspace. Yeah. And you end up having fun right after practice. Like she said, we are on a track throwing footballs.
Yeah. Can you just remind me of that every now and then? Just let me know. Because as adults, we have trouble not complaining about stuff. It's a good outlook.
And I know you've talked about staying on track with your grades, making sure you're focused on the plays and not hanging around and doing nothing. It feels like discipline's a big part of that. And I know you have an ROTC part of things too here at Varina. You have interest in military and aviation. Can you kind of describe your background in that and maybe how those things overlap a little bit with your sports interests?
Okay, so I've been in ROTC for 3 years. This is my 4th year from my senior year. I am the commanding officer. So I've been allowing myself, without any help, to put myself out there to teach other underclassmen how to do certain stuff in a respectful way, because some people take different things differently. So I have to be respectful and make sure that they understand what I'm saying. Yeah. It's all about the comprehension of it. So as long as I give them respect, they give me respect, and we're at a specific level. Now I carry that discipline of leadership over to my sports because my teachers, again, I have to be respectful in the classes. They're looking at me in my uniform. They're looking at me in sports. They're looking at me everywhere I go. So I can't act crazy and then be on a team acting completely different.
Mm-hmm. And multi-sport athletes is nothing new. We talked to a bunch of them, guys, girls that play a sport in the fall. Maybe they pick up something in the winter or spring. You're a first here for doing, one, girls flag football. That's a first. But also being a boxer. Tell me about your boxing background.
So,
can you knock Dylan out?
Yes. I'll answer that for you. Right. Yes, you can.
I'm from Norfolk, Virginia. I moved here in 2020. And I've always did virtual down there until I moved to Varina. So my boxing background, I'm a southpaw. I'm ambidextrous, so I box on both sides.
Interesting.
I love it. I've been boxing since I was 9. So I really kind of fell off when I got my braces done. But boxing put me in a mindset to where I could be calm and know how to understand other people. And it's very fun. I'm a lightweight. I'm trying to get to middleweight currently for women. I don't think I'll have my next fight until I get exactly back in the gym and focused.
Yeah. You've got to be the first person to say boxing makes me calm. I would think it'd be the opposite. So you got a mean left hook.
Yeah.
How do you get into boxing? I wouldn't even know, got my own daughter. I'm like, hey, you know what you should try? Boxing.
Try punching people in the face.
Yeah, right.
Oh, wow.
No. Yeah, right. So how did that get on your radar as a kid?
Well, one, my mom wanted me to be in self-defense. I did that for half of a year. And I was like, Mom, I really like boxing. And then my coaches was like, oh, snap. She could really keep it going. So I kept at it. and I kept going to the gym, and then I moved over here, started going to their gym here, and I've been doing it ever since, without a doubt, without a problem.
Yeah. And Coach, we're talking about the ROTC thing, commanding officer, her boxing background. Just from you, with Laila, your background with her, how have you seen those things manifest in the ways that she's grown up through these other kind of sports and, things she's experienced, and how that has all come together for you as part of like this team?
I mean, I just believe Laila, she's a different type of kid. You run into kids that can do the right things when you're around, but when you're not around. And I see that all the time. Laila, I'm on her just because I tell her all the time, I think you take on too much. And so we do butt heads, but I tell her, hey, it's a reason behind all this madness and total discipline. Yeah. Like whether she agree with what we're saying, she's, yes, ma'am, yes, sir. She's that type of kid, and you want that type of kid to kind of lead what you have, because a lot of kids don't know about it. Anytime we present anything to Laila is, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Whether she agree with it or not, you never see it. It's hard to read her when she's going through things and dealing with things. So I think that's great things to have within your team, because it only can get better.
This team is fast, by the way. If you haven't seen them practice and you haven't seen a game, watch them, because they're fast. That speed showed up against the team formerly known as Georgia with Richmond School of the Arts. Speaking of which, Laila, future of the team, we'll get to that in a minute. Future for yourself. You're into aviation too. Tell me about that.
So aviation is kind of new to me, because I was thinking like, oh, maybe I should go like to the military and just do whatever. Then I was like, yeah, I really need to start looking into some stuff, because I can't just walk in there and not know what to do. So when I saw aviation, I was like, I could be a pilot. So I want to be a fighter pilot. And I was like, okay, cool. So I started talking to recruiters, started going to trips like to the naval base. I have a couple of family members in my family that have been in the military that talks about being a pilot. I've also went to this aviation school called AIM Maintenance. It's down in Norfolk. I took a tour. It's wonderful. And I feel like aviation will be great for me once I graduate. The plan is to go to aviation. They have one up here that is 12 months, and then they have one in Norfolk that is 21 months.
I'm thinking football, boxing, fighter pilot future, JROTC, commanding. Is there anything that scares you? It feels like you don't have any fear.
Well, she can just throw the left hook.
I think
being a girl.
Okay.
Maybe because being
Lady.
a girl is hard.
Yeah.
It's very hard, and you have to deal with a lot of stuff, emotionally, physically, mentally. It's the basics. Guys go do that too.
Yeah.
But nothing really fears me. I'm very calm when it comes down to anything that might upset me or anything that I might lose or have or win. I'm just laid back, really. Yeah.
And, I'm sure, all the things you described, all the experiences you've had, I'm sure all of those dial in that, like, I have to be focused, I have to keep calm, I have to stay disciplined, all these things work in concert. Boxers can't fly off the handle if something's going wrong. You can't overreact to being punched in the face or whatever is going on, right? So all these things work in concert, and you can tell, from the way your coach talks about you and all these things, that stuff has worked really, really well.
I can also see why in the winter, Ashley Banks, also coach of the girls basketball team, might want you on the team. With just leadership alone, you develop a jumper. Now we're really talking.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What's the future of this team? We'll end it there, but talk about the future of the team for this year and the years ahead.
I wish the best for the team to keep up winning. I wish that we go to championship. I'm pretty sure that we probably will.
Now you got 7 games left, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay.
And we have younger girls that's stepping up. We have a QB. She's excellent at what she do, as well as our backup quarterback. But we have a lot of moving pieces.
Yeah.
Ideally we want, my desire is to help the girls to grow into what they can and should become in life.
Yeah.
And, we got sight of, some college coaches reached out after our, we did well out in our first game, and they're coming out. They asked for schedules, because a lot of people where we are at or just watching are developing flag football.
Scholarships are available now.
Scholarships are
In the Deep
available.
South, a lot of different universities. All of a sudden, what's that like? I mean, I know you say you want to be a fighter pilot, but just the opportunity to maybe play and have your college paid for as an option, it's got to be pretty sweet.
Yeah, I want to keep my bucket open.
Yeah.
Just keep putting more eggs in it. Like aviation, it might not be my first route to go.
Yeah.
Because again, if I get a scholarship, that would be wonderful. I'll just go for it, college paid for, and see if pro is an option. Boxing, becoming a pro is an option as well.
Yeah.
Depending on any coaches that decide to reach out to me or see how I play, that'll just be wonderful.
Yeah, and you'll have these variety of options, in the world and in the workforce, either whenever you decide to take that on, which is the ideal form of this, right? You can go to college, you can go to the workforce, you can go to the military, you can do all this stuff, and you kind of have your bases covered. So whatever path you go, is going to be, one that you have kind of a full grasp on, which is really cool.
No limitations.
And Coach, one question that I had to wrap up related to the flag football thing is, how is it going to grow in the county, and what would you say to schools and ADs and coaches and other girls in the county that that are interested in starting this and being your competitors?
It applies pressure.
Yeah.
It's pressure. We had, like I was telling you guys, we had Chesterfield County, Thomas Dale reach out. They had an interest meeting. It was 160 girls to show up.
Wow.
We have Henrico right there on that back door, as well as Highland Springs. It's pressure. I take my hat off to my athletic director for seeing something in us, but also just hearing our voices.
Yeah.
Allowing us to step up, girl power. We've had other schools reach out and say, well, we don't offer it at our school. Can we play over at Varina? No, we're Route 5. We're Route 5, and we are trendsetters, and we like to stand up to those names. But it's grateful. It's a humbling experience, to have, our board of directors come by our games, Tyrone Nelson, come out, and, Dolores McQuinn and different names like that coming and still supporting us just because we are who we are on Route 5.
Absolutely.
And you can see the girl power on display. You guys play 7 more games. You have a number of home games still left. They play on Mondays. The Varina Snap Queens.
Yes.
And they will be performing 7 more games, and then maybe you get to hoist a championship trophy at the end of your inaugural year.
Yeah.
We have one of the
Fingers
best
crossed.
fields. Our next game home is on the 29th, and we're doing a camo theme. So come out with your camo on, whatever type of camo you want.
There it is. Best of luck. Everybody go out and support the Varina Snap Queens. They are a talented football team. Ladies, I appreciate you being part of the Sportswire Spotlight today.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank
Thank you
you.
for being here.